welcome back to my bed, where we do another monthly recap, this time October edition. These were very spooky, and we got quite a lot to go over, so buckle up, and let's get started. Let's start off with something short and sweet, and it is creepy and gross, so just be warned.
Told me, babe, the Sunday days will be the good old days.
That was disgusting. I'll be honest, I got my thoughts and feelings about kissing your kids on the lips. I know many parents do it. If I have kids, I will not be doing that. I think it's gross in my opinion, but if you're a parent who does it, you keep doing you. But this is too extreme. This woman is like full on making out with her baby. That is disgusting. This is a baby. I swear something needs to be studied about boy moms, because at this point, it just becomes too much. It's giving, I'm gonna be the only woman that he ever loves in the world. I'm disturbed. That was disturbing, and I'm sorry that you guys had to see it, but if I had to see it, you did too. I'm so sorry, but that was fucking disgusting. If you're gonna kiss your kids on the lips, please don't full on make out with them. Like, that is disgusting. I'm sorry. It's just disgusting. Like, this is a baby we're talking about here. That's what I've opened up with. Let's get into something different. This video pissed me the fuck off. This is in regards to food stamps ending. There are gonna be tons of Americans who are gonna go hungry because they're not getting their food stamps. And as somebody who has once been on food stamps, I got a lot of thoughts and feelings on this video, so let's watch it together and get pissed off.
This message is for all the people that are complaining that they're not getting their food stamps for November. What did you do with October's food stamp money? What'd you do? Did you stock up on pantry items and try to shop smartly? Or did you just go buy a bunch of processed garbage? By the way, you can thank the Democrats for the government being shut down and your benefits not coming through for November. Looks like you're going to be going to the food pantry for your Thanksgiving meal. I know a lot of food pantries hand out turkeys for Thanksgiving. All the sides and trimmings too. Lots of food pantries. You better figure it out. I'm sick of hearing you complain, honestly. You ever have this as a meal? I'm eating peanut butter and butter on toast. It's absolutely delicious. You should try it. And not for nothing, I saw this woman that said she was getting $1,100 a month in food stamps. Do you know how long I could make $1,100 in food stamps last in this house? There's two of us, but I do have my son over every once in a while, or my daughters over once in a while to eat. I feed them too, and we always got food in our house, no matter what. I would take a third job. I have two jobs. I would take a third job if I had to, just to make sure my kids ate. What are you doing for your kids besides coming on the internet and bitching that you don't have any money in your food stamps account?
Are you angry and pissed off yet? I got a lot of thoughts and feelings. I actually just recently got off food stamps about 2 months ago. This is something that I've never really shared with the internet because I feel like it's nobody's business. But when I was in school, like when I went back to beauty school after I got laid off, things became financially tough for me. I didn't qualify for food stamps, I believe, because I was a student, and maybe I had misread that, but I had thought that I could not get food stamps. So after I graduated beauty school, I was on food stamps for about a year. And while food stamps really helped save my life financially, and I was grateful for the amount that I was given, and even once I got a job, I was still on food stamps. Do people not understand that there are many people on food stamps who have jobs, and they still can't make ends meet because jobs in this fucking country do not pay enough money for us to survive? I'm so tired of this narrative that people who are on food stamps are lazy and they don't work, and all they do is they spend it frivolously on processed food. That's not the case at all. I just love that this woman just makes blatant assumptions and acts like everyone who has food stamps is just buying processed junk, and that's all they're doing it for. And then she's like, well, guess you gotta go to the pantry to get your turkey. Fuck off. It's like she was like making fun of them for going to a food pantry. And I want people to know there is no shame in going to a food pantry if you are out of your food stamps or if you don't have food stamps and you need a last resort to make sure that you have food on your table. This woman also said that, oh yeah, there was this woman who had about like $1,000 in food stamps. People who get that much money in food stamps have multiple kids, mind you. And kids have to eat too. Also, kids eat a lot. You have to buy so much food when you have children, especially more than like 1 or 2 kids. They're gonna eat a lot. So it makes complete sense for parents to get that many food stamps per month because that is for the whole month. They're not spending $1,000 in a week on groceries. It is for the whole month. Kids go through food quickly. Families go through food quickly. Does she not understand how food stamps actually work? And I don't care if you're eating your peanut butter toast, which whatever, you're just chomping away and you're like, it's fucking delicious. Guess what? That bread that you're eating is most likely processed food. That butter that you're eating is probably processed food. So if you want to process food shame others, how about you speak for yourself, ma'am? I got really pissed off watching this video, and I feel horrible for those who are losing their food stamps on November 1st and blaming it on Democrats when this was not their doing. I'm just so tired of Republicans never taking accountability for anything. Anything. They never take accountability for everything, and they always blame it on somebody else. So you can fuck right off with that, ma'am. I am lucky enough that I can wean off of it because I'm starting to make more money now, which unqualifies me for them. That was the goal. Like, this wasn't a permanent solution for me. It was a temporary thing until I could get back on my feet again. But I understand that's not going to be the case for other people. Shit like this pissed me off. I have a lot of empathy right now for so many people going through this, and my heart really breaks for them. I'm going to end that rant right here, and let's just move on to the next thing that pissed me off this month. This video is a little long. I am going to speed it up for you, but it pissed me off.
You're slut shaming, you're slut shaming. Yes, I am fucking slut shaming because apparently it's become cool now to dress like a hoe, to have a whole Snapchat roster, and to put your entire worth and identity into what these boys think of you. Yes, I am making being a slut a bad thing. Just like growing up, my dad would always tell me and my 3 sisters, don't act stupid. I hate when girls act dumb. So then we never wanted to act dumb. So we did our best to become as smart as possible and appear like it. So yes, I am slut shaming. I don't want you to be a slut because you know what happens to girls who act like a slut? They're treated like that by guys. You treat people how to teach you, especially men. And if you're allowing them to do whatever, you're dressing however you want, you're attracting more attention, you aren't going to live as good of a life. And I want to change that for you. I don't want you to live like that. It's not making you feel bad because you've fallen into this trap. But if no one's told you, how are you going to know? So I am telling you because I don't want that for you. And the truth is, if you understood both sides of it, you wouldn't want that for yourself either. You are worth so much more than your body. And you don't understand that to you might think it feels good in the moment to get that attention and validation from these guys because you're not giving it to yourself. But to these guys, they don't give a fuck about who you are, your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, what you're passionate about, your family, like all the beautiful things that make you up as a person in your heart and your soul. They don't care when they're sleeping with you for a night. And that's fucking disgusting. And you don't deserve that. But you're treating yourself like that. You're allowing it. So yes, I am shaming treating yourself like shit. Yes, I am. Thank you. And I promise you, when you get that treatment for the first time and these guys want to spoil you, they want to bring you flowers, they want to take you on trips, they want to get to know you, ask you questions, hear how your day was and every single detail of it, you will look back and be like, ugh, how could I have ever treated myself like that? Like, I wish I didn't give my body away. I wish I respected myself more because that wasn't the treatment that I really wanted and I didn't deserve it. So I'm telling you, as your older sister, as whatever, your mentor, don't allow it. You deserve so much more and you have to be the one to set those standards and give that to yourself.
First of all, this pick-me bitch is 21 and she's never had a boyfriend. So no, you will not be my older sister or my mentor because I have more life experience than you and I'm older. Okay, anyway, so let's get into this. How about you mind your fucking business? If girls want to sleep around, they can sleep around. Because honestly, men are the bigger sluts, if anything. They're the ones saying yes to these women when they can say no. Men have the option to say no to a woman. If a woman wants to sleep with them and the guy's like, oh, well, I want to respect her, you can say no, man. You can say no. It's always the woman that's the slut. When men are the biggest hoes in the world. Men are far more skanks than women. Yeah, I said it. I fucking said it. Now that I got that off my chest, it's always internally misogynistic women who come on this app and say shit like this. And the comment section was disgusting. I hated how it was all comments agreeing with her because It didn't make it to the opposite side of TikTok like it should have, but there were many people who did stitch her video, calling her out. And also, this girl's page is constantly shaming out girls who dress like hoes and sluts. And she's like, hoey girl, slutty girl, la la la. Only internally misogynistic women use those terms. Not everything women do is for men. Have we not gotten this message out enough? Again, she's 21 years old. Her brain is not fully developed yet. You know, she's probably a little Christian virgin, if anything. I don't understand why having sex means you're not respecting yourself. You make the decisions for you. If you want to go out and have a good time with the guy and have some sex, go for it. If you feel like that's going to make you feel better, go for it. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not. There are plenty of guys out there who will sleep with you and will care about your dreams and aspirations, even if it's just for one night. I've gone out with guys, and even if I've slept with them on the first date, I've had great conversations with men, and I'm thankful that I've had more good dates than bad. And I feel like I've also been really good at weeding out bad men in my life, but I just hate this mentality that there are young women out there who are teaching even younger women out there that having sex is bad. It is just purity culture, it is internal misogyny, it is patriarchy, and it needs to fucking end. Don't ever let another woman slut shame you, especially if they are far more younger than you. I would have just laughed in this bitch's face if she told me that. That's what I gotta say about that. I'm so sick of people coming on this app and saying that. And I wish TikTok wouldn't even let people post stuff like this. But you know what? Free speech, right? This is just a quick video that honestly is just more funny than anything, so let's watch it.
I used nail glue to put on these vampire teeth. They've been on for a few hours and I cannot get them off. I don't know what to do, and it honestly is starting to hurt my teeth. I had a little at-home vampire teeth box. It wasn't working, so I had no other choice but to put nail glue on my teeth. And they work. Like, I mean, it worked, but I can't get them off. Anyway, look at the corset, though. Isn't it cute? I love it. But yeah, I can't get these vampire teeth off.
People on this app are so stupid. Babes, denture glue exists. What made you think that nail glue was the right choice? I can't. Why are people so stupid? And then they post it and they're like, guys, look at me. I did something stupid. I put nail glue on my vampire teeth and then stuck them to my actual teeth, and now I can't get them off and they kind of hurt. Next time, use denture glue. Halloween is coming up in a few days. If you're gonna be a vampire, my advice to you is use some denture glue for your teeth so they stay on, and it's gonna be healthy and safe for your teeth. Thank you very much. Let's move on. So next we have a little story here. So this is about an influencer named Glamorama who likes to review different places and I believe bakery and food places and restaurants, and she's pretty harsh in her videos. And so she went to this bakery in Phoenix, Arizona. So let's hear her review. So we're gonna watch her review. Keep in mind, a lot of these videos are deleted, so they are re-uploads from other creators, just so you know. So I am going to upload the review so you can see it, and then you'll hear the bakery's response, and then you'll hear her response to the bakery, because it's messy. Just for further context, this influencer reached out to this bakery that she reviewed, saying that she wanted to collaborate with them, and the bakery basically said, no, we can't do that. And she had asked, well, I'm asking for free food. I'm not asking you to pay me. And so the bakery said, well, think about it. They never got back to her. She still did the review anyway.
People, I do not mind spending $10 on a pastry if they are really good, but you cannot use fake ass ingredients. That pistachio color is about as natural as my boobs, ass, and waistline. The coffee was super sour and acidic, but I prefer a creamy chocolatey espresso. $5 for a canali. I didn't even pay that in Santro fucking paid, but that's the price next to the Phoenix airport. Okay. I was also super disappointed in the quiche. I prefer a quiche with a thick, rich, buttery crust. This had a paper thin crust. If I wanted to ingest this much eggs, I would have eaten an omelet. I absolutely loved the pumpkin pie croissant, but everything was a little on the sweet and rich side, which some people love. Personally, I like my sweets a little less sweet, so I'd rather get treated like shit and go to Paris again. Now, with all of that being said, I think if you stay away from the expensive ingredients like these nuts.
So we're gonna watch the restaurant's response to her bad review.
So we recently had an influencer reach out to us and asked to do a collaboration, and we respectfully declined because it was not in our budget right now. Then she essentially tried to blackmail us by saying if we offered the food for free, she would then write a good review about us. I told her I would think about it, but she still came in the next day. And although we hadn't agreed to collab with her, we recognized her when she came in, and we still were very accommodating and offered her extra drinks. So we totally respect a bad review, but what we don't like is lying and bullying. The first thing she said was that our pistachio was so faked. Fun fact. We have right here our pistachio paste that is 100% pistachios from Italy. All of our flours that we use in our product, the farine de blé, épeautre, gruyère rouge, all comes on the pallet from Europe. And also, this is our panettone flour, straight from Italy. It's written entirely in Italian. Not bad for close to the airport bakery. Beyond the fact that we spend 10 times the amount of money to buy the ingredients, the most valuable part of our product is the time we spend to make them. From our sourdough starter to our dough, every single thing is handmade from scratch.
To make this, we spent 6 months. You have to learn it, how to feed it, know how to work with it.
And it only likes the flour from Italy. And this isn't just about me. This specific influencer has gone to many different local restaurants and bullied them. The problem is if the next generation is influenced by her to believe it's okay to bully and disrespect the food industry. We like working with influencers, but acting like the working class is beneath you and promoting this kind of message on social media and bribing us for free stuff is not really something we support. My biggest pride in what I've built here isn't just how I source my ingredients, but it's having found the people to be my team that wake up every day and that care about what we do, our processes, and that work really, really hard to do this. And most of all, thank you to our customers, sincerely, because it's thanks to you that since day one, I get to live my dream of having a bakery. And thanks to your support, I've been able to continue to be as true to my art.
So that was a really great response. You know, she laid out the whole story, the full context, right? And then, oh, did Glamorama have a piss off response that gave us a whole lot of nothing and made me just want to side with the bakery even more. So let's watch it.
Then she essentially tried to blackmail us by saying if we offered the food for free, she would then write a good review about us.
God damn, someone finally stood up to me. You know what, I gotta say, fucking kudos, for real. I respect that, I do. What I don't respect are the lies. So, here are the receipts. You want the truth, you can't handle the truth. I never said that I would leave a good review for a free meal. I have never done that, and I will never do that. So I think it's a bit of a stretch to say that I was bullying you. You have way more followers than I do. You are way cooler than I am. I will admit that. Like, I would love to have the online presence.
Pause. She says she would never ask a place for free food, but with this screenshot right here, it says the meal will need to be comped, including the gratuity, meaning I'm not gonna tip you. Fuck that. You're saying the meal would need to be comped? That literally means you are asking for free food, you dumb idiot. Anyway, her screenshots are not showing anything. In fact, they're still reiterating what the woman at the bakery was saying. Her receipts show nothing, but let's keep watching.
That you do. So if anything, you're kind of punching down. My video got what, like 7,400, I think, maybe 12,000, 13,000 on Instagram. It didn't do great. I also said nice things in that video. I actually do think if you stay away from the nuts, if you're like me that don't like that fake pistachio flavor, I still have one of your other pastries here. Well, this one was a pistachio, so it hasn't been eaten yet. But the pumpkin one that I loved and raved about, I'm not exaggerating. I ate it about 2 hours ago, and I will say it's been frozen for days since Saturday.
And you said that the pumpkin was still too sweet, and you don't like your pastries sweet. You like things that aren't too sweet, and then you were commenting on things that weren't sweet enough. I can't. There's just no winning with her.
Pulled it out after about 30 minutes. It was still phenomenal, and I'll stand by that. We also didn't get free drinks. We did get a free shot of espresso, which was so nice. Like, the French man that works there, he was the sweetest man ever. I said I liked my coffee strong. He sent out a free shot of espresso. That was so, so nice. Regardless, Jenna, I respect your balls. I do respect your talent. It may not be always my taste, but I do respect your talent. I think you make beautiful pastries. I'd work on that quiche though. And I hope both your sides of your pillow are cold at night, and I do wish you nothing but the best.
A pretty nasty response. And then afterwards, she wiped her whole entire TikTok account clean. And then she deleted those videos, and then she wrote this apology note, which isn't really even an apology, but I'm gonna read it to you really quick. It says, "Hey everyone, first and foremost, I want to address the fake ass ingredients comment. When I tasted the pistachio pastry, I noticed a strong pistachio flavor that reminded me of extract or flavoring, so I assumed that's what it was used to enhance the taste. Maybe it was added, maybe it wasn't, but I want to be clear, they do use real ingredients as well, and I should have been more thoughtful with my wording. I also want to clarify something really important. My review was not revenge for being turned down for a collaboration. Feels that way. I had already planned to visit and review the bakery regardless, paid or not, but I understand how things unfolded. It might have looked like I did it out of spite. That's not who I am, and that was never my intention. For those who have followed me for a while, you know I've always given honest reviews, good or bad. But I also understand now that honesty without compassion can come across the wrong way. When the collaboration didn't work out, I completely respected that and went in as a regular paying customer. My goal was still to give an honest review, but I see how that message, followed by a negative video, made it seem like I only wanted free food or felt entitled, and that's not true. That was never my mindset, and I truly regret that it came across that way. To the bakery, I'm sincerely sorry for any harm my words may have caused. I respect the time, effort, and heart that goes into running a small business, and I genuinely wish you have nothing but success moving forward. Oh my god, this is so wordy. At the end of the day, we're all human. Sometimes we mess up publicly, and all we can do is take accountability, learn, and grow from it. Thank you to everyone who's reached out to me with kindness, even to those who have held me accountable. I hear you, and I'm using this as an opportunity to grow and do better. I bet she didn't get any messages of people reaching out to her with kindness. I feel like these apologies always say, thanks so much for your kindness and support for those who did so. That apology means nothing to me. I mean, it's not my apology to accept to begin with, but it was still nasty. I felt like she only wrote it because she got called out so much on the internet, and that's that. Anyway, we got 2 more crazy other stories that I gotta share with you, and then we'll wrap this video up. So, this next one is about a girl who worked for DoorDash and lost her job. So let's find out why. First video that she ever posted.
That's fucked up.
So that was a deleted video. That video that she originally posted was deleted, but basically she went to a house to drop off a delivery. The delivery instructions were to just leave it at the door. So I don't know why she was filming in the first place, nor why did I think she felt it was okay to post this on the internet. It's a violation of privacy. You're posting somebody's house with somebody inside who didn't even consent to being filmed, but basically the door was open and she decides to look inside and film and see a guy laying on a sofa with his pants down, and then she walks back saying that's fucked up, okay? And what makes it worse is that she exposed that on the internet. Again, why did you feel the need to put that on the internet? So let's watch the follow-up video on what happened after that.
Hey guys, so DoorDash just deactivated me 2 days after I reported my sexual assault. Hey guys, I just lost my job, and they won't tell me why. They're supposed to send an email immediately after deactivation providing you the reason why and a link to appeal, and they didn't. So I contacted support, and they made me sit on the phone with them for 50 minutes just to tell me that they can't tell me the reason why, and I have to just go ahead and appeal without knowing why. So my chances of getting my account back, they have my money in that account. I was working! I was literally working! And they deactivated me! This is related. They just punished me for posting about my sexual assault while door dashing. They just fired me! And the police are doing nothing! I lost my job! And that was my only way to make money to pay my bills!
I take sexual assault stuff very seriously, but I can tell you right now, what happened to her was not sexual assault. She was not a victim. You went up to somebody's house. The instructions were clear, saying leave it at the door. That did not mean go inside, peek in, and see something and film it. I'm sorry you caught somebody with their pants down. Well, yes, that is gross. They're also in the privacy of their own home. Why was their door open? I don't know. But you were not sexually assaulted. You saw exposure and you quickly ran away. That's not sexual assault. Sadly, I have seen homeless men on the street with their butt cracks showing. If I accidentally see their butt crack, I'm not gonna think, oh my god, I got sexually assaulted because I saw someone's butt crack. I need this woman to be so fucking for real. I think it makes perfect sense why she lost her job with DoorDash. She literally violated a customer's privacy, posted it online. I think that's grounds for being dismissed as a DoorDash delivery driver. I don't feel bad for her. And then there's one more follow-up video that was made.
You guys, my account is currently at risk of being banned because I had to explain my story one time, right? They took the video down and gave my account a strike. So I explained my story again and censored the video that I have just so they can't take it down for the same reason. They took it down for the same reason again, and now my account has a second strike. Guess what? If I get one more strike, I'm banned from TikTok. So not only did I get assaulted 3 days ago on October 12th on Sunday, I then lost my job. The police are doing nothing. And if I get one more account strike on TikTok, my account's done. This is a man's world. I'm the victim. Remember? I'm the victim. And they took down my video. They were going to have to pay me for my second story time because that was over a minute long. They were going to have to pay me for all those views I got. So nope, they took that right down. They took that right down. Absolutely not. They're not paying me for that. Nope.
You are not the victim. Nothing happened to you. You saw some guy's genitals when you had no business looking inside the fucking house to begin with. This being a man's world has nothing to do with it. You also posted inappropriate content on TikTok, which violated TikTok's community guidelines, so no shit. You're the problem. I'm sorry. I'm curious to know what you thought of this situation because this is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's watch the last video because, whew, it's also a doozy. So you know, the videos of the situation were also deleted. I had to find a re-upload, so that is what we're going to be watching. So I apologize if you see like the screenshot of the video with all like the watermarks and things like that, but it will still paint the whole picture of what you need to know.
And at this point, I had been in the line almost an hour and a half, and about 45 minutes in, I had decided I was just going to wait it out since I made the trip already, and to film how ridiculous this was going to be because I could already tell from the people in the line. You go in, you were told to grab a key off the wall and insert it into the matching number of the drawer, and you would get something. Of course, the key didn't work, and I was like, yep, we are still ghetto coming in here. And she was like, oh, no, you're doing it wrong. I was like, I think I flipped the key 8 which ways, but whatever. Finally got it open, and I won a color analysis. Yeah, it was an event for waiting and nothing else. And then I went outside and look at all the rest of these people. Look at the people in the line. And this is what was waiting to go in. And I said, I wanted to hand one of them my macaron and say, this is what you're waiting for. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna let them be. And I said, I just need a drink. So I popped into Jack's wife, Frida, and the bartender made me a perfect Cosmo to wind down before I had a serious crash out.
What an utter, and I should have gotten the hint when I saw every Joe Schmo from off the street that literally looked like they rolled out of bed fucking homeless, waiting in line to get into this thing. PSA to marshals, if you're gonna go ahead and slide in the DMs of a creator that you see on here, a content creator tagging you constantly in videos, and you're gonna go ahead and say, we invite you in capital letters to this event and join us, please don't waste our time. We spend a lot of our time curating content, editing, filming, posting, and for you to waste our time with this is such a slap in the face. I feel like I never want to shop at Marshall's again. That's exactly how I feel. Color analysis, babe, stop. Please make sure that you have a content creator day and that you also have a day where any schmuck could come in. I'm peanuts. I am nobody on here. And I know that such a big brand like Marshall's, for them to do that, and I can tell who was a content creator in the line and who wasn't. You can tell by how we dress, you can tell by our hair, you can tell by, but 80% of the line, I really don't mean to be mean. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and everyone has their own lives and everyone has their own means to get by, and I am not a materialistic person, but when you contact content creators and invite them to places, I can't wait to get home.
First of all, as a Jewish person, you used the word schmuck incorrectly, so that was really cringy to hear you use. Okay, let's unpack this. This woman was invited to Marshall's event, And I actually found like a screenshot of what it was supposed to be about. And it says, "Hi, we know how much you love Marshalls and fashion, so we'd love to personally invite you to the Marshalls Style Closet, a one-day experience that brings fall's biggest trends to life." And then all the information. They didn't say it was an influencer event. They just said it was a style closet. It was literally just like a marketing message. She took this as a personal invitation, which it was a marketing message. It had nothing to do with influencers. It was for the general public. So that's on her that she took that message the wrong way and assumed that it was an actual influencer event when it wasn't. And then another issue that I had is that she said any other Joe Schmo was there in the line. They came out looking like they rolled out of bed and like they looked like they were homeless. The people looked fine, by the way, mind you. And it literally gave, "I'm better than you. How dare normal people be at this event? I'm not a normal person. I'm a content creator." You can tell who's a content creator by the way we dress and by our hair. What does that have to do with anything? I'm a content creator. Content creators come in all sorts of different shapes and size and wear all sorts of different clothes. If somebody wanted to dress more comfortably and they were a content creator, who cares? You don't have to show up looking like you are right off a runway. It is just giving entitlement, and she's like, "I'm not a materialistic person." You sure act and sound like it. I have made a video on why I'm an influencer who hates influencers, and I talked about in that video how to not act like an entitled, insufferable brat, because when I first started this, I knew exactly how to not be when I started doing this. And clearly she thinks that once you're an influencer, you have to act like an entitled brat, and that's not what happens. And that's why people hate influencers now. And it's sad that this new generation of influencers has ruined what being an influencer once was. And I miss that. Can we go back to 2017 when influencers actually had value and people didn't really hate them as much? The whole thing pissed me off. And I'm gonna leave it with that. That was a lot. I know this was a longer video of recaps than I normally post, but there was just so much to unpack this month. A lot of craziness. Who knows what November is going to bring, but I'm curious to know, what was the craziest thing you saw this month on TikTok? Comment down below and let me know. And if you liked this video, do make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!